So welcome everybody. I'm Alex Waleczek. I'm part of the Tableau community, and I just wanted to talk to you about how you can learn from the Datafam, which is sort of the official hashtag for our community. First up, a little bit about myself. As I said, I'm Alex. I was born in Germany. I live in New Zealand now for 8 years and work for Tableau roughly as long. Well, sorry, with Tableau for roughly as long. I'm an analytics practice lead at Merkle, which is a large global UX consultancy and Salesforce and Tableau partner. I'm a user group leader and a 2-year Tableau ambassador. I'll talk about that in a bit, but it's sort of the MuleSoft ambassador and Salesforce MVP equivalent. And I'm a bit of a data nerd, which I think you need to be sort of part of the Tableau community. What you see in the middle is an elevation map of New Zealand that I built out of 3,600 Lego bricks that hangs down in my living room at the moment. So I want to address sort of I think what I would consider the elephant in the room first. Why do you build a community around business dashboards? And they have been around for, I don't know, at least 30 years anyway, in one way or the other, if you start off with Excel or other sort of ERP systems. And I think when all of us think of business dashboard, it looks something like that. And to be honest, that's probably not really appealing to anybody. So building a community around that is really hard if it's just that. But the thing about Tableau is it makes it better. Tableau really allows you to design things differently, to really design things in a way that wasn't really possible before, and that includes visual design, that also includes interactivity and dynamic charts. So you really can give a user whatever they need and whatever they want, and make it really easy for them to interact with their data, to see their data, and actually get the answers that they want. But again, that's not really enough. Like I think if the only thing that Tableau did was building business dashboard, I don't think it would cut it, and I don't think the community as it stands right now would exist as it does. If you really want an engaged community, there needs to be something personal about it, and sort of some personal engagement that people can bring into it. And if you've ever used Tableau, or if you ever worked sort of with data in general, and that might be sort of personal data, looking at, I don't know, your bank statements or anything like that. Like if you work with Tableau, at some point you wonder, well, what else can I do with it? Yes, I can visualize my KPIs in the business. I can see how much I sold or how much stock we have, or any metric like that. But what else can I throw at it and see what's in there? And I think that's really where the Tableau community started growing and shining. And the answer to that is you can visualize anything. You can visualize personal data. So in this case, that's sort of a schedule after a baby was born for the first month, was what the parents were busy with. You can visualize serious data, the World Press Freedom Index, how free the press in certain countries is. You can visualize fun data if you have hobbies or personal interests, in this case, the music of Doctor Who, and you see the visualizations are not sort of your stock standard bar and line charts. It's a bit more playful and a bit more interesting to look at. And you can visualize straight up silly things. Now, this is also done in Tableau. It has very little sort of insights that it communicates. But that was really built to sort of use one of the techniques, which is animations, to actually have this Mr. Tickle extend over the screen. Utterly pointless from an insights perspective, but it's fun for people to play around with it, and fun to try the tool and push the tool to its limits. And the great thing about that is you can do all of that from the comfort of your couch. Like, you don't need any expensive software at all. In fact, you get a free version of Tableau, and you can do all of these things that you have just seen for basically the only investment that you have to put into it is time, learning the tool and actually spending the time to build something like that. And so the Datafam itself is a very loose term for everything and anything that is going on around Tableau. The picture you see here was this year's conference in Las Vegas in May. I somehow managed to snuck into the middle front row. That's the first, I think the previous row, so the previous years I was hidden somewhere in the back. But that's sort of our annual gathering where everybody from around the world meets. But the community is really spread over various places online, and there are various ways to engage with it depending on why you want to engage with it and how you want to engage with it. We obviously have sort of the basics. So we have Tableau forums, like most other tools as well. And I don't have enough experience with other tools to understand how that compares. But what I can say is that if you have a question and you post it in the forums, usually it doesn't take longer than an hour to like get an answer or get a post that asks for clarification on things to actually help you. There are Tableau staff in there, but to be honest, the most answers that you get will be from the community, from people who just feel happy answering other people's questions and helping them. And if you know some of them, if you get in touch with them, the amount of technical knowledge that they have around the tool is just insane. And sort of the edge cases and special cases that they are aware about and that they can teach you about. The other thing, which again is quite similar to most other tools at the moment, is user groups. They are based on either location or sort of area of interest. So typically in most major cities, you find a user group, and then you have like, if you're interested or if you work in the healthcare sector, in the financial services sector, and if you are part of certain groups, you have sort of a dedicated user group for that. I think there was a new one launched today, a career pathways group that tries to connect users with mentors and sort of help them in their career path to break into a different role or a different industry. Now, so far, that's, I think, especially in the Salesforce ecosystem with MuleSoft and Slack, that's sort of a standard approach. And if you look at all the tools that are around at the moment, that's sort of what all the other tools do as well. I think where Tableau really shines and what Tableau makes unique is the introduction of Tableau Public, which is basically what I usually call, when I describe it to people, an Instagram for data visualization. It allows everybody to publish visualizations and publish data for free, and everybody else to access those visualizations, to interact with them in a dynamic way and sort of explore anything that might be of interest. That the profile looks something like that. So you can post your different visualizations, and like any sort of social network, you can like things, you can share things. You have a feed where you can see sort of where you can follow authors and see what they published last. And you can find literally everything in there. So you can find visualizations about sort of the standard economic indicators like GDP or unemployment rate. You can find statistics about sport. You can find information about squirrels in Central Park. I've done one myself. And like any sort of niche topic, or even companies use it for their annual reports. So I know that KPMG and I think Boeing have at least one or two of their annual reports published as Tableau Public dashboards for anybody who is interested sort of to look into that and sort of see where the revenue comes from, how the expenses are split, and these kind of things. And it has been around for about 10 years. And this year, actually, there was quite a big milestone of 8 million visualizations published. And I think that is really significant, and it shows sort of the size and the impact of the community. Again, the content of these is from the most mundane sort of standard KPI-driven things to really creative and really sort of niche topics that you might not even thought about that you might be interested in before. Now, that is one aspect of sort of what the community makes so strong. The other one is our main platform for now anyway. Nobody knows what's happening with it. But Twitter really is sort of the de facto place for us to connect. There's the hashtag Datafam for sure, and then sort of you can follow different projects and different people to sort of engage with the community. And it's quite interesting to see people who have been around for a while. I actually attended a user group in London a couple of months ago, and one of the presenters there showed his first tweet on Twitter where he posted his first visualization, and that was picked up, and immediately like a bunch of people followed him and sort of got interested, and that's how he got involved with the community, which is, it's quite nice to see how welcoming that is and how little it takes for somebody to sort of become a part of it. What it also allowed us, in combination with Tableau Public, is the creation of community projects. And that is something that I have not seen for many other tools, especially in the Salesforce ecosystem, to be honest. All of these projects, and I'm sure I forgot some of them here, are driven and run by community members voluntarily. They run weekly, monthly, quarterly, it depends a bit. And they aim at different aspects of like learning and working with Tableau. It's from actually learning the basics and learning how to either use the tool or how to communicate data in an effective manner, to sort of very niche things when you're interested in a certain aspect. So you see Sports with Sunday there. You can see Data plus Music if you're interested in music data. EduVisors for education data, Games Night Viz if you're interested in games, board and computer games. Interesting is also to notice that not all, well, all of them originated in the Tableau community, but they are not limited to the Tableau community. Especially Makeover Monday and Workout Wednesday, I want to call out there because they explicitly are open for other tools. Makeover Monday, there are regularly people contributing through Power BI, Excel, Python, these kind of tools. Workout Wednesday has dedicated tracks for Power BI and CRM analytics, which used to be Tableau CRM, used to be Einstein Analytics, used to be Wave. So sort of in the Salesforce ecosystem. And it's a really great way for people to actually learn the tool. And if you meet anybody in the Tableau community, they will most likely attribute at least one of these projects for their learning path and for their career growth. I know I started with Makeover Monday, and sort of the learnings that I got out of that was just incredible week over week, just working on the tool and learning new things every week. That also allows us to sort of try to push the tool to its limits and beyond. I picked up 3 random examples. The first one from Alex. He actually converted a 3D rendering in a data set and rendered it in a Tableau dashboard. So everything you see on screen is Tableau. And there's probably little practical use for that, especially if you look at it performance-wise. But it just sort of shows that Tableau is not a BI tool in itself. It's a rendering engine that you can render anything in if you know how to, and you can bother figuring out how to. In the middle, Merlin out of the Netherlands has built a working chess AI, so you can play chess in Tableau and get a reasonably strong opponent. And then Brian built a Rubik's Cube that randomly shuffles, and then you can sort of move the different layers to build it. Again, it shows that Tableau is not only a BI and analytics tool, it's a tool that is a platform that allows you to visualize things and do things. And I alluded to that before, it's not all focused on Tableau itself. So those 2 covers are book covers of people from the Tableau community who actually went on to become internationally recognized experts in the field of data visualization, of design, of communication, of insights. Both of these books, while most of the visualizations you'll see in them are based out of Tableau, they apply to anybody who would like to visualize data in any way in any tool. And I think that's another reason why there's a lot to learn out of the Tableau community. You don't necessarily need to use only Tableau. Just if you are somebody who works with data, and these days everybody works with data, from the salesperson to the office manager to a data analyst, the content that comes out of the Tableau community will help you communicate your insights, to your manager or within the business. And these are just 2 examples how there's content that comes out of the Tableau community to help you with that. There's also acknowledgements. I talked about that before. I'm a Tableau ambassador. There are also Tableau Visionaries. There's sort of different recognitions for sort of technical expertise and your engagement in the community. So there's around 50 visionaries at the moment and 334 Tableau ambassadors for different branches, for running user groups, for engaging on Tableau Public or in social media. I've sort of towards the end 2 plugs. One is for Workout Wednesday for CRM Analytics, which I run together with 3 others. If you are interested in picking up the tool, have a look there. I'll provide the links in a second. We create weekly challenges to actually learn about CRM Analytics, which is now sort of part of Tableau. And then lastly, sort of the important links. If you take one link away, then it's the first one, because that goes to my blog where you find the slides from this presentation and all the links that I talked about. If you have any questions and I don't get to answer them, hit me up on Twitter or on LinkedIn. And if you happen to be based in New Zealand, we are looking for MuleSoft skills. So maybe give me a message on LinkedIn once the job ads go up. Maybe that is something for you. And that is it from me. Caroline, do we have any questions?
I've answered most of them. Great job, Alex. So there's a few questions that were about, is Datafam just about Tableau, or is it data visualization in general? Which it is mainly about Tableau. I did answer that. But like you mentioned before, some folks actually don't just use Tableau, and they also use it as an opportunity to talk about data visualization in general in a wider sense. And then there was a question about free training videos and learning how to upskill. Alex, did you have any recommendations that you could share for that?
Yeah, I think so. Learning videos, like there's a bunch of YouTube. There's Tableau Tim. He's sort of the main YouTuber in the Tableau community who has a bunch of interesting videos. I personally really like the community projects just because it's not just here's how you do ABC. It's like giving you a challenge and having you to solve that. And typically, like, you shouldn't spend more than maybe an hour or 2 a week on that, but you progressively learn things. There's a bunch of other ways, like typically if you have a question, if you Google it, how to do X in Tableau, you will find at least one blog post who explains you in detail what to do. If you want something more curated and more structured, on all the major learning platforms, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, you'll find courses that'll cover that.
And one final plug for everyone, because we have 1 minute left, but go to Tableau Public. You can download it for free, get your hands on Tableau, do a project. Alex mentioned how folks started getting into Tableau by visualizing their own data. I think that's the most fun. A lot of folks like to visualize running data, their Spotify data. Everyone has data everywhere. So I think that's the key thing, is just try it out. It's fun. Everyone can do it. And check out Alex's profile, because he's got some pretty good stuff in there. And if you're based in Auckland, check out the Tug, because it's...
Oh yes, definitely come along to our user group.
Yeah, cool. And I
The
think we're
link
at
is on
time.
my blog as well.
Yes,
Sweet.
and I've linked the blog. Cool. Thanks. And I guess, Nick, does everyone go back to the agenda?
Yeah, absolutely. Next session will be kicking off now. Thank you so much.
Thank
Sweet.
you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. See you.